You said the Seattle Seahawks would win the Super Bowl. Make your case.
So I mean, honestly, I think their defense is, amazing. They do some great things, and I'm a little biased. I went to college with my boy Marshawn Lynch, and I know everybody's trying to give him a hard time, but I want to see Marshawn get a Super Bowl, man. That's my boy. So hopefully Beast Mode could take him in and get that Super Bowl ring.
So is it a friendly thing, or you really do believe the Seahawks will get the best of Peyton?
It's kind of both, but I mean, I really do think they could do it. I mean, you seen how Seahawks did the Saints, so I'm sure they could rattle up Peyton the same way. So we'll see how it works.
Stephen A.
Nobody has a choice but to have mad respect for Marshawn Lynch and what he brings to the table. The dude is legit. There's no doubt about it. It wouldn't help to answer a few questions about football. I mean, my Lord, it ain't like somebody asking you about your personal life, but that's a story for another day.
Exactly.
With that being said, I would say this, though. If the weather is ideal, if it's inclement, we know it favors a defense in a running game.
For sure.
But if it's not, how do you see that defense stopping a team with 5 weapons? That's like, I mean, come on now.
I mean, you got to think of it as the same way. New Orleans Saints, they have some great weapons too. Jimmy Graham, Moore, Meacham. I mean, they coast, and they got a lot of weapons too. So I'm just kind of similar comparing them 2 games, and they was able to shut them down.
Let me ask it to you this way.
Go ahead.
If Jeremy Maclin was healthy,
and
you've got Maclin with DeSean Jackson,
that's a different
and
case.
Brent Selleck and Riley Cooper, would you think Seattle could stop you?
No, I ain't going.
Oh, but they can stop Julius and Demaryius Thomas?
I mean, that's different to me. But at the end of the day, how they rattled up the boy Drew Brees, he one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I think they could do it to Peyton. And Peyton don't like pressure in his faces. If you get to him and knock him down early and rattle him, I think, that defense crazy, man.
And you would know this how, considering what the Broncos did to the Eagles?
You got.
I'm just saying.
I mean, you definitely have a point. You have a point, but I'm just going off of what I think. I mean, I can't say nothing about that. You're right on that. They beat us, but at the end of the day, I mean, I'm going with Seattle, so you can say what you want to say.
Well, you don't play defense, so I'm not holding it.
I can't play defense.
I know that, but I'm not holding it against you. I'm not holding it against you, but I'm just saying they dropped 50
they did
on the Eagles.
They did that. I'm embarrassed about that, but at the end of the day, it's the NFL. Things happen, so,
All right.
Now, wait a second. I do want to hear more about a man you know very well in Marshawn, who has been a little difficult with the media. Again, not that he's gone back and forth with me. He just doesn't want to talk.
Exactly.
He was a little better yesterday.
Yeah.
Give us some insight into that.
I mean, Marshawn, he had a rough upbringing, where he comes from, North Oakland, the slums. I mean, this is definitely tough on, his daily life and, what he witnessed, not having a dad in his life. And his mother is like a second mother to myself, too. We have a great relationship. So, I have nothing but great things to say about Marshawn. And a lot of times, he doesn't want that attention on him. He'd rather shed it on his teammates. So that's one thing I can say about him. You can ask anybody on his team. He's a great team player. He's going to go out there and put it on the line every day. He's going to work hard, and he's going to be a beast at the same time doing it. So,
listen, I totally agree. Ain't nobody up here that done a great Marshawn Lynch. The boy balls, and he earns every penny that he makes, and he's one of the best in the game. It is what it is. Like I said, just answer some questions about football because it's just football. But I would ask you this question since you know him so personally. What's the handshake about when the offensive lineman comes to congratulate him after he scores a touchdown, and they go to give him a hug, he like no, and just shakes their head. He did that against when they played New Orleans. He did that when they played San Francisco, I believe. What's that about?
I mean, that's the inside thing right there. I don't understand that one, but
their teammates came to hug him.
He always like to do his family first thing. He got like something he do with family first. So he just giving it up for his fam.
I got you.
Let's talk about your head coach, Chip Kelly.
Yeah.
First season as a head coach, you make it to the playoffs. Obviously, you guys didn't go that far. What do you think about his season if you had to grade it? Pass or fail?
I mean, I think it's a pass. Honestly, he came in and did a great job. Everybody was, kind of concerned on how the Oregon offense was going to translate over to the NFL. And, I think he had an utmost great year. Everybody, bought into his system. And, we really have a lot to build on from last year going into this year right here. So being 10-6 this year from, when I came and saw you at the ESPYs, we was 4-12. So we was talking about a totally different thing. I know I said we was a top 5 team, but I still think we up there and, being one of the best teams in the NFL. But, we just have a lot to build on. Just a couple of little key additions, and I think we'll be all right.
Key additions?
Key additions. I don't know who that might be, but just a little more help, and, we'll be all right.
I don't mind it as long as you got your money. They finally paid you, so I'm happy about that.
I mean, I appreciate that.
You deserve it.
Definitely appreciate that.
DeSean, for the longest time, I was not sold on Nick Foles. I'm not sure Stephen A. Smith was that sold on Nick Foles.
I wasn't.
How sold is DeSean on Nick Foles?
I mean, I think Nick Foles has honestly grown, so much in his 2 years. It's only his second year in the NFL. I still think he's young, and, he's matured fast. Last year he came in when Vic got hurt, and this year he was able to come in and be our starting quarterback throughout some tough times. And, I think he stepped up and made some big-time plays. He controlled the offense being so young. And, it's really a lot to handle when you have a new coach that's coming in and, implementing a new offense and a new form of way of, doing everything. And I think he adjusted to that great. So in my eyes, I think he's a good quarterback. He has a bright future. And, right now he's the man for the Eagles.
And what about the other quarterback?
Mike Vick, man.
I believe in Mike Vick. Still believe in him.
Hey, man, that's my big brother. And, Mike Vick, he has some more football left in him. I don't know if everybody out there believes or thinks, he can still go out there and be healthy a full season and, not turn the ball over and do things like that. But in my eyes, I think he still has, another 2-3 years to be a starting quarterback in this league. And I just pray and hope he doesn't go to a team that we have to play and see him twice a year, because I know he'll probably come in there with a grudge on the shoulder. But you never know how it works out. He might be back as a Philadelphia Eagle, or he might be somewhere else.
I just want to know if the police showed up and arrested the offensive line, not for this past season, but the previous season, when they gave Michael Vick no protection whatsoever and left him punch drunk, which is why he had some of the issues he had. Did the police show up at the Eagles NovaCare facility to arrest any of the offensive linemen?
They probably took a couple people in the jail, took them in custody.
Exactly.
But, we bailed them out. We got them out.
Serious question.
I wouldn't have bailed them out. They'd have still been in there if it was me. Sure.